What's up, YouTube? Hope you're having a shit one today. Figured I'd take today, go for a little ride, talk about my first 500 mile impressions. We're at 8:04 now. It's kind of a little late for that, but you know what? Here we are. I'm gonna save some of my my thoughts for the 1,000 mile review, just because I didn't pick up on them until just recently. But before I kick this video off, I definitely want to say, if you could do me a huge favor and like and subscribe to this channel and this video, because right now I'm freezing. All right, it's like 40 degrees outside, and I don't know, I'm just cold. But I wanted to make this video because I'm trying to upload weekly, not trying to make any excuses, anything like that. So if you could do me the favor and help my channel out, help me grow, that'd be great. But anyway, to kick this off, the first thing I want to talk about is the power delivery, things like that. So for starters, this is the biggest engine Harley Davidson provides stock, right? It's the 117 Milwaukee 8, and it does not lack in power. I'm going to start off by saying that the low end torque on this bike is ridiculous. On the highway, you know, I can easily reach 130, 140. Now obviously that's not sport bike material, but it's definitely more than enough. You're not going to have any problems overtaking on the highway, especially downtown. That's where we're at now, downtown San Diego. You're not going to have any problem with that. But what I will say is it lacks in power on the higher end of the RPMs. Like, it's well known, but I just want to put that in this video so that there is no misinformation. After you get about 3,500 RPMs, I would say you can definitely feel where the torque and the horsepower definitely died down, and it's by a lot, but that's fixable, obviously. So you can fix the power issues with the cam. That'll help alleviate some of that top end power, but also exhaust. Now mind you, I'm on a 100% stock Lowrider S. So I'm talking about straight from the factory. This is what I'm noticing. But with some aftermarket parts, you know, you can watch other videos, you can definitely tell that it picks up quite a bit of power, especially when you get to like stage 3. Another thing I did not like about this bike were the stock pegs. So if you look there, I got Moto pegs on there. I got those put on literally, I didn't even drive off the lot and I had them switch it out, because the stock pegs to me just did not feel, I don't know, they were just so long, and I just couldn't put my feet down like safely, really, and my foot always got caught on the stock pegs. So I switched them out, and it just feels so much better. Also, it's more of a sturdy platform, because they're just like little logs. That's the best way I can describe it. Coming back from sport bikes onto a Harley, I can tell you that one of the first things I noticed was how much more comfortable it is. Like, suspension exists, guys, especially those on sport bikes. Suspension exists, and it does make a difference. I didn't realize, I thought, oh, it's a motorcycle, they're gonna be, you know, uncomfortable for the most part, but no, I go over bumps and I don't even feel them. On a sport bike, I had to go get new fillings in my teeth because of how rough it is. But it is crazy how different of a ride it is on something dedicated to more or less cruising. Another thing is, I did take this on like a 50-mile journey, and I was not sore at all. Like, I could have kept going. It just, I reached my destination, but it was easy. Like, it was like we were in a luxury car. Just, well, watch out for these damn birds. Okay. But yeah, it was crazy how much of a difference it is compared to a sport bike, especially for longer rides. So if you're looking at getting a bike for maybe just cruising around, if you do a lot of highway driving or long distance rides, anything like that, the Lowrider S definitely should be on your list. Another thing I noticed in the first 500 miles is the wind, kind of bad. Let's be honest here. On highway, doing 80 plus, this fairing right here does nothing for you. I'll be honest with you. It's garbage, but let's also be honest with ourselves here. No one keeps that stock fairing on for the most part. Most people throw Memphis shades or something similar on there, and for one, I think it makes the bike look hard as hell. Like, it just changes the way the bike looks pretty much immediately. That and a Saddleman seat, both of which I have not done yet, but I do plan on doing. Like 100%, I will not be doing that. Ooh, I also want to talk about kind of my ideas for the bike. I think I want to do a gray and white theme. So like all the black accident parts, I'll get them powder coated white. Only because I have yet to see it. I see a lot of people do gray and red, gray and black, obviously, things like that. But nowhere have I seen gray and white. And gray and white, I think, goes really well together. So I think I'm going to take that extra time for this channel and do things 100% custom, even if it's just paint, and see how the bike turns out. You know, I've kind of noticed when I'm looking at like moto bars and risers and stuff, they have a whole bunch of color options, but not white, which tells me that no one really does white. So I think any kind of aftermarket part I'm going to do, I'm going to go get it powder coated and kind of just match the bike to the gray and white, and then obviously have a few things black. Like the triple tree will be black, but the bars will be white. And yeah, I think it'll make this bike look unique, clean, and one of a kind. So alright, is this light gonna turn green, or are we just all gonna sit here? So another thing I noticed on my first 500 miles is how much I really like this speedometer cluster setup. You know, seeing reviews and reading comments and stuff like that, I noticed that some people don't like it. People like them down here, people like it not being digital, but it definitely gives it a you know, an updated look. It's very legible, sunlight or in bright light, nighttime, anytime really, and it's in front of your face. I like that. I actually test drove a 2021 where the cluster was down here and it was on the gas tank, and I couldn't see it, and I had to take my eyes off the road every time I wanted to see how fast I was going and things like that. Man, it's kind of busy down here. It kind of gives you everything that you need, right? Your RPMs, your speed. There's a gear indicator, your odometer tells you how many miles you have remaining on your gas. Just everything you could possibly need is right there, and it's honestly pretty nice. It's like they kept a classic bike but threw in some, you know, like a modern cluster. You can't really be mad at that, and you could always relocate it either whenever you get risers, or you could put it down here. I've seen a few different mounts now for it, so when I do risers, I actually don't want it above the risers anymore. I want it down in between. So that's what I'm going to do. This way, when I do motovlogs, the speedometer is not up here in your face. You know, you can still see what I'm seeing type stuff. Man, I apologize for all this stopping and going. I mean, I'm going to cut most of it out, but I hit every light. But we're going to do a U-turn here, actually. Now let's go down here. Let's see if there's any cool photo opportunities. So that brings me to my next point. I do photography as a hobby, and I've kind of gotten to the point now where I kind of want to sell some prints and things like that, but I don't want to sell things that are crazy expensive, you know? I mean, I'm not an established photographer or anything like that. So I created an Etsy shop, and I actually sell my prints digitally, and I only sell them for $2.99, $3.99. Like some of my more better photos, the max price is $5. But even some of my regular ones, just my normal street photography, I sell for, you know, 99 cents, $1. So if you guys want to go check it out, I will leave a link in the description, and if you guys like them, they're digital prints, and you know, you cop one, you can do whatever you want with that photo, hang it up on your wall, stuff like that. And if you have any ideas on what you would like as photos, you know, maybe you want me to capture something for you to go into your garage or something, let me know in the comments, and I'll do my best to do that, give you a little shout out, and yeah, that would be appreciative too. I mean, you know, we're all just out trying to become financially independent out here, you know, and it helps the channel because I can get aftermarket parts quicker. So for sure, let me know what you guys think about, oh, I definitely passed that line, but oh well. So sorry to keep going off topic here. Well, let's find another thing to review here. I typically create a list, but this one I kind of just hopped on the bike and said I'm just gonna go with it. God, these pigeons though, they're crazy. They don't care. Let's see. Oh, okay. So the two bikes I test rode before I bought the Harley Lowrider S was the Lowrider S and the Fat Bob. Now I can tell you the Fat Bob had a good chance of being bought. What I loved about the Lowrider versus the Fat Bob was the way the front end is built, and I'll explain. So the front end is tucked in a little bit closer than any other Harley bike manufacturer to this date, and that allows for sharper and more aggressive riding style, right? It's more reactive to your inputs, and I like that, right? I like being able to flick the bike, do whatever I want, just have a good time, right? The Fat Bob, unfortunately, it's got that fat front tire, and the forks are out a little bit further, so it created more of a smooth type of riding style, right? So if I pushed on the handlebars, it didn't just flick over, right? It slowly went over. Now it's nothing crazy dramatic, but when you put risers on these bikes and you do a few things to them, you definitely start to notice, because, well, obviously leverage with the risers, but yeah, it definitely feels a whole lot better. So that was actually one of the biggest points, or what do I want to say here? That was one of the biggest decision-making factors when I test drove those two bikes on why I chose this bike over the Fat Bob, was because of the handling, right? And it's, again, not a big difference, but it was big enough for me to notice. And this is I would consider myself an amateur rider, right? I know what I'm doing, but I'm by no means would put carbon fiber wheels on my sport bike to shave off 10 seconds, you know what I mean? So I'm just a hobbyist, if you will. But those are things that I actually noticed and was behind my decision making with this bike. So it still plays true to this 800-mile ride, or 800-mile review, I guess, is the handling is still what I expected it to be under various conditions. And with that, we are about to get back on the highway. I got to get gas. I only got 59 miles left, which freaks me out. I mean, I'm sure I have plenty of gas to drive around a little bit longer and talk, but I'm gonna hop on the highway here. I'm gonna put my music back on, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like, subscribe, let me know what I could do better, what you liked about this video, and I will see you on the next one.